When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, half of the colleges decided right away to promote their students. Universities in Maharashtra promoted their students with a COVID promoted tag. And then the UGC guidelines came. And that was the rudest shock of the students' lives.
While others were hitting their books and preparing for the exams, 33 students from all across the country decided to go to the Supreme Court and challenge the UGC guidelines, the decision to conduct examinations during the pandemic. Today we have two such students with us, Yash Dubey and Anvesha Kalita. I am Parvati Benu.
And I am Prajanmo Das, and this is Campus Convo.
Every student in India is currently facing the same issue.
We have not got any response. It's only us who are shouting.
This is a risk for teachers too.
Studying through online medium is not easy. We do not want any political intervention.
But you have Abhishek Manu Singhvi fighting your fight.
Yeah.
Before we begin today's conversation, before we talk about the UGC guidelines and the examinations, I would like to know a little bit about the two of you. Because Yash, I know that you're a student, you're a law student from Barkatullah University, Bhopal, and Anvesha, you're an MSc
student. I'm pursuing my master's right now.
Mm-hmm.
I am in my last semester, which is just not finished yet, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. And also, you're one of the 31 petitioners.
Yes, I am one of the 31 petitioners.
Right.
From a
so we are really interested to know your story. So Anvesha, I'll begin with you. Could you tell us a little about the 31 petitioners? Have the 31 of you ever met each other?
No, we haven't met each other any day. It's just happening. Everything is online. I think our lawyers were already talking about this UGC issues in their Twitter accounts. And some of the students approached them. And then one day, suddenly, I just got this message that Alak sir is taking this case and he's going to file a petition against the UGC guidelines. And then I just remember that the next moment I remember giving my name and submitting my documents to him. And I just wanted to sign this petition because I really wanted to voice against this petition, and I really wanted that we get justice against it.
Right. And Yash, you're probably one of the youngest petitioners here.
Yeah.
And you have a separate case against the UGC at the SC, and you have Abhishek Manu Singhvi fighting your case. What was basically your motivation behind going ahead and filing the case?
One day I was sitting with my father. He is also a lawyer in Bhopal. I asked him, so if the offline exams are going to be conducted, at least 5 times I have to go to the university to give my exams, and that is too risky. Not just for me, but also my parents. So my father is a senior citizen. He is about 61 years of age. And that is a big risk.
What do you feel could be the larger implications of these guidelines?
Every student in India is currently facing the same issue. They have to submit their degrees and everything. Now, if exams are not going to be conducted and they are not going to get the result, they are in a big dilemma that how they should move forward. Even many of them have got the free placement offer. So they don't know that how to move forward with it because they don't have their degrees on hand.
Does it affect your career in the sense that when you write this in your resume, what effect can it have?
In the future, whenever we go for interviews, when we say that we passed our final, my master's degree, I passed in this year of 2020, I think they all will know that 2020 was that year of that great pandemic of corona, and they will understand, I suppose.
So during the last hearing of your petition in the Supreme Court, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, who represents the UGC, he said that nobody should be under the impression that exams will be cancelled. Students should be prepared. And as students, I want to know, how much have you both prepared?
We are trying our best, but the problem is many of these have not completed the syllabus. And even some of the people who are with me, they don't have all the syllabus with them, all the study material available to them.
Here in Assam, we already due to the CAA processions and everything disturbances that was going around in India, our this last session already started very late, almost in the month of February that our fourth semester started. And our classes, physical classes occurred only till like Holi. So there was only 20 or 25 days of classes. And then the lockdown was announced suddenly. And most of my friends, my colleagues, they had to just rush back to their home, and they did not carry any books and materials because the lockdown was announced abruptly, and they did not carry those materials, and now they are not able to come back also. It's been like 4 or 5 months of lockdown, and still lockdowns are imposed here.
And I'm just curious here, how exactly are your teachers reacting? Have they been supportive? Do they know about your petitions?
I have not been in contact with my teachers. We are just talking about, like, we have certain projects which were for internal assessment. We have been talking about projects and all. We have not been talking about this petition or this exams and UGC guidelines, to be honest.
So I had word with all my HOD and all my teachers. So they all are supporting me because this is not just a risk for students or their families. This is a risk for teachers too. So if students have to go out or just have to give exams offline or online maybe, that same procedure has to be followed by the teachers too.
Almost all of the petitioners here are really young students. So have you been taken seriously? Have you been under the impression that people are not really taking you seriously here?
We have not got any response. It's only us who are shouting, who are trying to contact them, who are trying to write to them. But they have not responded back.
Does that bring down your morale at some point? Does it feel like, what is the use of fighting a battle where someone is listening to you?
Definitely. Even today, I was just feeling like I think we will have exams better than, it's better to study rather than fighting for this cause, because I think this is already lost.
Do you feel the same way, Yash?
Yeah, so yes, we are facing the same issue. But apart from this, many students are supporting us in background and they are just pushing us towards our win. So yes, because of their power and their helpness and then their support, we are moving forward.
How hopeful are you that you have a chance of winning this?
Yeah, so we are very hopeful because we have faith in judiciary system. We have faith in Supreme Court. So let's see what they give their decisions. We cannot just say at this stage.
Also we have big names like Abhishek Manu Singhvi representing, the students' cause in this case. So also brings this question that a lot of people would have had. How are the students able to afford such big names?
So we are not paying them. They are appearing pro bono for us. We are very grateful to them that they are there. That they are appearing for us for such a big social cause.
The petition has garnered a lot of attention all over social media. Has there been any sort of trolling that you had to go through?
Yes, many people do troll about it. Yeah, so some of them I did heard from someone that they are against this, or maybe some people are just taking it not that seriously. But majorly, every student is agreed to this, and everyone is supporting us.
And these trollings, they also get a little offensive often, very often. Anvisha, do you feel that there's a mental pressure, added mental pressure, in addition to your exams, the petition? The trolling also causes stress, and how do you deal with it?
To be honest, I have completely kept myself away from this trolling and social media things, because what I'm really doing is now concentrating on collecting everything that helps in our petition and helps to make our ground stronger. Yes. But there are certain comments that we go through our Twitter or the petitioners' Twitter accounts that they say that no, we are not gonna win anyway because anyway, the UGC has said that they are very adamant and they won't step back. So there are people who try to bring us down morally, but at last we have to trust the judiciary. And because I just feel that our moral grounds are the basics on which we are standing today before the Supreme Court. So I just have a firm belief that the Supreme Court will listen and check those grounds, and therefore we may get justice. I won't say that I am very confident, but definitely I am confident on my grounds.
And has any of the student political organizations or student groups extended their support to you to fight your cause?
We are completely non-political. We have been advised not to take any political support. We are just students from non-political backgrounds, and we have just signed a petition. We have placed our grounds before the court, and we do not want any political intervention in our petition.
And why is that?
Because sometimes it might cause controversy, definitely, because of this political matters. And
but they also come with a huge student strength. You would have more people supporting you.
Yeah, the people are supporting, but I think they are from the opposition parties, and I think that I just feel that, or we all feel that the government doesn't listen to the opposition parties.
Basically, we don't want this to become a Congress BJP fight or someone else's fight. It's just we who are standing, and we are standing for students. And this is not a political issue at all.
But you have Abhishek Manu Singhvi fighting your fight.
Yeah. Yeah. So
maybe, but he's associated.
So apart from his political opinion or his political life, he is a big name. He is a big lawyer. So that is why he is standing with us. And
I think every one of us have some political inclination, that because we are now voters of this country. We all have political inclination, but at this moment of time, we are not looking for any political intervention or any BJP Congress thing. We just want one thing, that we need justice. We need our degrees. We need to save our future and our career.
Coming back to the petition, what do you think are the alternatives that you have now? You must have presented or at least thought of the alternatives.
There are many alternatives, because I am a second year student of my master's degree. I have already completed my graduation. So in my graduation, I gave 6 exams. In my master's degree, I gave 3 exams. 9 exams I have already completed. I have only 1 exam left. So if I don't give this exam, does it say so much about me that I'm not a good student, or I shouldn't be granted a degree without giving this exam? Obviously not. There are so many ways they can test us. They can evaluate our past performances. They can take assignments. They can take projects. They can check students through so many ways, I guess. In CBS system, every semester holds an equal weightage. So if they are allowing the intermediate semesters to pass without giving exams, why not us?
This is just another semester. This is not a final exam.
We don't have any final semester or final examination in CBS system. These are all accumulation of all semester. Every semester is equally important in this complete course.
And just because, I am doing BA LLB honors, it's a 10 semester exam, and so we have 10 semesters. So just by not giving 10th semester, it is not that you are going to judge us on the basis of that one semester and not the other 9 semesters which we pass.
Also, a lot of students from hundreds of universities across the country are, they're counting on your petition right now. Is this a lot of pressure for you to handle?
It is a big situation. So we are in a big pressure. I hope Anvesha and all the people who are involved in this would be in the same dilemma and same problem. So we are trying our best.
Anvesha, what do you think can be the alternatives in a general sense, not just for this exam, but in general going forward? If we go into an online and offline mode or a dual mode, how can you implement that actually?
Implementing online mode in a country like India is actually very hard, because not every person or every student come from the same economic background. And offline mode, I think it is very not sure until the pandemic goes away, which seems not to be over very soon. And we at the end, we can't rest our careers, so we have to study. Students have to study, so we have to compromise. Maybe we have to take alternatives like online classes, but studying through online medium is not easy. We use online medium, definitely we are students, we use online medium to solve our doubts. If we have any doubts, we just open the YouTube or we Google it, that some questions, that is okay. But having a complete concept or having a complete understanding of a subject through online medium is very hard, I guess, without physical classes. And also studies also comes hand by hand with practical. So if we are not able to conduct practicals in our lab, practical, and we don't have practical classes, then proper understanding of the subjects are not that easy. So I guess online medium will help us. Definitely, it will not completely it don't reach our academic life, but it has lots of drawbacks in a country like India. Like I'm from Assam, if there is flood and if there is a heavy rainfall, the next day, whole day, there is power cut in our state, in my city. And then we don't have charges, we don't have charge in our mobile phones, the generator goes off. And there, I am talking from my perspective, but there are many people who don't have all these facilities yet. So it is not that easy. Online medium is not that easy to implement.
Whole guidelines and the way this thing is going has put a lot of pressure on students, teachers, parents, everyone in general. And I wish you best of luck with the petition. And I hope that something fruitful comes out of it. You get a solution out of it, please.
And I also hope that through this conversation that we had, somehow it reaches to larger part of the people, and it helps us and the students who are trying to voice out through this conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anvesha. Thank you, Yash, Parvati, for joining us today.
So much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
If you want to be part of the discussion, you can reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon to listen to the most sensible voices from colleges and universities across the country to never miss an update from edX Live.